All right, so hey everybody, welcome back. Next video about writing amazing landing pages. All right, so pretty much I got through the first 2 points. Okay, now I'm going to actually get into some actual tangible stuff here. The first 2 points, again, just recapping, is making sure somebody understands your headline within the first couple seconds of them looking at it. Excuse me, not your headline, but your actual landing page. The next overall, thing I want you to understand is that making sure everything sells on to 1 to 2 points. Now, what I mean by that, making sure all of your different elements, your headline, your bullet points, your call to action, your picture, your video, make sure that it all is selling them basically on 1 or 2 points. Okay, it's easier for you to sell somebody on just one thing, two things, rather than sell them on 5 or 6 things, right? It's easier for them to understand, and it's way more effective. Like if I have a landing page, but I'm trying to sell you 5 different things on that landing page, things that kind of get chopped up and it won't really make sense, right? But what happens if you can just sell people on one idea, 2 ideas, right? Really one, and then all of your other material is just supporting detail to support that main thing and strengthen that argument, right? That's actually a very important key. So those are the first 2 things we want you to understand. So now let's talk about headlines. All right, how to write a kick-ass headline, because this is the most important thing, is dealing with a headline. I think it's what, like 80 or 90 some percent of your landing page that will be read will be a headline. Like most people actually come through and read your headline, but they won't read the rest of your stuff. So that's very important. So I just included a couple angles. All right, I got a PDF in my actual course in Udemy, where I got over 300 different angles you can choose from, effective angles, right? 300 different power angles you can choose from to be able to write an effective headline and get people to actually opt in or sell whatever you want on your landing page. So this is just 3 I've chosen. First one is just a how-to. You starting off your headline, just how to blank, how to this, how to that. The second one is how to blank your greatest desire without the blank, without the pain. So like, say if you are like selling something to people that were in MLM, a multi-level marketing, the home-based business thing, and you wanted to say, well, listen, how to recruit 25 people a day without having to place one single cold call ever, right? That's a headline that's benefit rich, right? That's a headline that really, draws people in. Okay, let's look at the next angle. Let's look at the next formula. I got this actually from John Carlton. How a skinny little golf genius from California accidentally started hitting 425-yard tee shots. Okay. All right. So what is that? That's counterintuitive. That makes somebody read that and be like, okay, I gotta read more. How did that happen? All right. So that's just 3 angles I chose. So let's move on to the next point about a headline. And I really like this last one because it really is going to show some elements that I'm pretty much going to talk about. The next one is just being specific. Whenever you be more specific, right? People generally is more believable whenever you're more specific, right? Whenever you talk about a story or something to get people motivated, generally the more specific it is, the more believable, the more persuasive it is. So when you look at a skinny little golf genius from California, right, that's very specific. It's not just a kid accidentally started hitting. No, it's more specific. It takes people, to a certain point. So being specific, using numbers in the headline, making sure it's benefit rich is all very key, important things to make sure that you hit on the headline. Another one is coming from a position of power. Okay. Whenever you start your landing page or headline or whatever, you want to make sure that you come from a position of power. Now, what do I mean by that? That means that you make a big, bold claim, right? A ballsy claim, something that people read and that stop them in their tracks. Like, okay, can this be? How is this possible? These are the things that you want people, questions you want people going on in people's mind whenever they come across your material. So come from a position of power, make some big promises, and then, make sure you back down and back it out and with logic to actually satisfy it, so you just don't be BSing, but make sure it makes sense, right? But don't be afraid to come from a position of power. And one more thing I want to talk about is always better to include like verbs. It's like copywriting in general, like, action words, hit, run. When you look at here, let's look at something that I made. Let's go back to the same thing. Reason why I like this, because it was so effective. This landing page I made. 102 proven headline formulas. Short, sweet, it's to the point, it's descriptive, and it's benefit rich. That's something that if I were, writing headline and stuff like that, that's something that I would actually want to have, proven headline formulas. Now you see how the rest of my elements actually supports that. It's supporting detail. I'm talking about proven headline formulas, a picture of money, right? And then my next video where I'm gonna talk about bullet points, you see how these bullet points all goes back to the one thing I'm trying to sell them on. It's not this bullet point trying to sell them on this and trying to sell them on. I ain't got a bunch of different things going here. I got one simple thing, one simple point that I'm actually trying to drive home over and over again, right? Which is very important because people attention span is very little. Whenever you capture people's attention, it's like a ticking time bomb. Okay, so you capture people's attention, you better do something again because you only got about, that brought you about 3 to 5 seconds. Okay, and then you do something else, right? So it's just, you just don't, want to keep jumping from thing to thing. You want to make sure it's specific and you keep pounding away and driving home that one point. All right, so 102 proven headline formulas. You see, I started with a number there, which is always good. The numbers, it's good to have your numbers odd. Okay, and here's an even number, but whatever. Like 102 point something, just more believable. Proven headline formulas. That angle right there, it works. It worked. So that's another thing in your landing page, just really finding an angle, and it starts with the headline. All right, so that's it for this video. If you want the full course where I go over all 17 power tips to how to write how to construct the actual landing page that convert, definitely click on the link below. It's in Udemy. Take the course. That's pretty much it. See you.